The other thing I thought about that was very interesting, and I'm not sure if you've probably read this paper, but it came out of Japan a few months ago. I don't remember the group, but they were looking at a variety of different biomarkers in the elderly population, in centenarians, in semi-supercentenarians, and in supercentenarians. And they looked at all sorts of biomarkers that are related to aging. So they looked at telomere length, they looked at senescence, immunosenescence, they looked at all sorts of inflammatory biomarkers, they looked at metabolic markers, glucose regulation, insulin sensitivity, they looked at kidney function, the whole, just tons of different biomarkers. And they were trying to find which biomarkers were consistent with healthy aging in all populations. So not just, to make it to centenarians, but to make it to every single age group. And what was identified was the only biomarker that was consistent with all the age groups was inflammation. So lower inflammation was predictive of vitality and cognitive function. And it was considered to be the only thing that was driving the aging process or that could predict mortality aside from age itself. And I was thinking about how monocytes, macrophages, neutrophils, these are the parts of the immune system that are the myeloid lineage, which is, we have more of them when we're older, they actually produce a lot of really nasty chemicals, hypochlorite, hydrogen peroxide. So the myeloid lineage is producing lots of nasty inflammatory chemicals. So it'd be kind of interesting to look and see. I mean, I'm totally just speculating here, but if there's some way, if you were to if you could regenerate the immune system to resemble more of a youthful phenotype, first of all, it'd be interesting to look at centenarians to see if they have more balanced, right? If they have more of an immune system that has more lymphoid and myeloid, so it's not so asymmetric. That would be interesting to see, but also whether or not if that plays a role in healthy aging.
Yeah, I think we need to be careful with the inflammation and as a cause of aging. I see it the other way around. I see it as the aging is the cause of inflammation, and it makes sense, right? Because inflammation is really can come from dysregulation of immune cells and other cells in the body. So so I think it's. Really, the evidence, the inflammation is the driver is not there. There's very few studies actually showing that, by increasing a little bit inflammation, increasing aging, they're not there. It's possible, but it doesn't seem likely. I look at it as much more in the sense of program, meaning that all organisms have a program, and this program is there to keep them healthy and young. Up to a certain point, and now there are ways to make these programs longer or shorter, and I think the centenarians just happen to have programs that are stronger and longer, and then when these programs fail, the inflammation is one of the things that you see as well, and it happens together with a lot of other problems, but certainly inflammation. It's a marker is a very important one. So if you look at C-reactive protein, for example, or interleukin-6, in an intervention that you do, you want to see them coming down. And this is a good indication, as we've done for our fasting-mimicking diet, where we show that almost every patient, we showed a decrease in inflammation in the mice that were given the fasting-mimicking diet started in middle age, but we also saw it in the population, in the human population, age 20 to 70, where everybody that had high C-reactive protein came back down after 3 cycles of the FMD, came back down to their normal levels. So, but again, that's probably indicating that the systems were not working properly, and now you're bringing them back to so maybe you're regenerating part of the bone marrow, and maybe also you kill some bad cells in the spleen, et cetera, et cetera. And so the result of that is less inflammatory markers that are being released. The liver also, we've shown that it undergoes cycles of atrophy and regeneration. So all of these organs are contributing to inflammation, and so it's important that with an intervention you see also an effect on inflammation, because it tells you that the intervention is working, the system is being reset back to a more youthful state.